What's up, people? Yeah, I have to already adjust my mic in. That was annoying, but here we are.
Hi, I'm Carly.
But yeah, I'm not playing
And today we
I
have a
joined the click.
serious
This is
message. We've heard of
first
people
iCarly game.
that don't watch
That was just
iCarly.
the
Please,
regular iCarly one.
give them a would you? Today.
But as you guys can see, I'm going to be going for the longest episode for the first world record because no one has actually officially done it yet. Because like speedrunning
Yes,
this game,
and I am Sam!
And
what,
this is our
year,
show!
2 chains ago, maybe 2 years.
And we bring entertainment from
Also,
the future!
make sure to tell me now if the audio is fine with the game. I might need to turn it down like a fair amount. You will regret this? Oh, I already know. That's exactly the reason why this is happening.
Welcome to another awesome iCarly.
But I guess I should explain stuff while we're just waiting. So, basically, in iCarly, or the game, a webisode is basically just 8 minigames that you play, and that's pretty much it. But in I Break Records, it's basically an endless mode. So, as long as you're able to meet whatever requirement that you have set, then it's fine. You'll just keep going until you quote-unquote fail the minigame, which is basically not beating the requirement for each minigame of getting either 1 star, 3 star, or 5 stars each time. And that's pretty much that. Now, I'm also going to try and record this. My PC is going to hate me later. Maybe I'll just take it from, maybe it'd be better to record it now. That might be better. But in the meantime, you guys can ask me questions, and also, the review for iCarly will be up on Patreon on Thursday. So for anyone who wants to sub to the Patreon, you can go down into the description below, because there's a link there that you can join, and you can watch the iCarly review a week earlier than everyone else, and that's the case with all reviews, really. So in terms of oh, also you're probably wondering why I have the cookie thing up there because I didn't explain that. That's to keep track of how many minigames I've done, because I don't know how to do any tracker any other way, so that was the only way I could do it. And I also have a timer in the top right, just in case anything happens, unfortunately, because, you know, things happen. So, I think we should be ready right now. So, I will start recording. And hopefully things go right. There we go. Alright, 3, 2, 1, start. And now I have 1 star, so I don't really have to do anything else. At the, what is it? Luckily enough, I will just have plenty of time to just do whatever during a lot of this, because it's literally just easy stuff. What's up, Prodigy? Oh, I have to get this. So again, if any of you guys want to ask me questions, you guys can do so. Brug. I know that you mean bruh, but that's honestly funnier. Did iCarly really need games? I mean, no, but that's also fair for a lot of stuff. Can I do a face reveal? Not really. I don't really feel like it. Also, I don't really have the best camera for that, so. Do I like iCarly? I do. if so, what is my favorite episode? I don't really know. Because honestly, I haven't watched iCarly in like a hot minute. Yeah, we have a bunch of minigame stuff that we do for this. That's basically the entire game, honestly. So honestly, this is like, I think the second time you guys have gotten to see like me play a game before like a review before it comes out, because the last time I did that was what was it? SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Also, someone just subbed to the channel. Let's go. I can't see it though. That's nice. Unless it like disappeared already. I don't think it did, but also I'm imagining that you guys are hearing me pressing the A button a lot, because like that's probably a thing. That is actually pretty loud now that I think about it. To why content? I'm just gonna say that for everyone that comes in here and says why content. This is literally the content game. Oh yeah, I also did turn off, what is it? Voices, because like, yeah, I did not want to have to deal with that. iCarly versus Drake and Josh. Oh, actually, this minigame might be a bit of trouble, because some of it is a little finicky. But yeah, that's good enough. That's really difficult, actually. Maybe Drake and Josh, honestly. PS2 versus Wii. Which one do I choose? I mean, I grew up with the Wii, so like, I guess that. I didn't really play that many PS2 games. Mainly because I didn't have a PS2 growing up, so I guess I would have to choose the Wii in that case. How was the Spencer bottle robot moving on its own? I don't know. What is the light that appears anytime I swat something? That's super weird. It always appeared on like the left side here. When's the next lore video? I don't know, actually. I could do it for that. Whoops. I could do it for this. Just make it even weirder if I really wanted to. I wonder how many minigames are actually like playable in this, because I don't think it's ever said. Are you still at college? I'm still in college, but not at like campus right now. Can I just still let them fall? Yeah, I actually can. Dope. And then this one is actually just very pointless. Oh, I have not kept track of any of the clickers at all. Cool. Let's assume it's like 11 at this point. It's probably not 11, but we're just gonna go with 11. But also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you guys share it out. Okay, this minigame is actually, like, pathetically easy. Because there's actually just straight up no bad objective other than just not doing anything. But luckily, with how the minigames work, there's always some form of downtime for me, so I can always, like, look at chat, or make sure your stream's not going down, because that can easily happen at just about any point. I think from here on out, I'm, like, good, because I don't think you can actually, like, lose any stars during this. My lore videos inspired you to create a superhero comic? That's interesting. I didn't expect that to actually happen to anyone. I'm glad that it has, though. Because honestly, the lore stuff, I literally was just like, I want to do this. I'm gonna do this. And then I did it. Oh, I guess I can get two of the same ones back to back. But yeah, honestly, considering that this is just 1 star, there's pretty minimal minigames that can actually, like, screw me over in terms of, like, okay, 3 minigames in a row are just this one. There's pretty few minigames that can actually, like, screw me over in terms of, like, getting a star. And the only one, like, honestly, it's only, like, 2 that are, like, pretty bad when it comes to, like, the motion controls and stuff. And unfortunately, they're also, like, the ones that will have, like, the biggest effect on stars. GameCube versus Dreamcast? Well, that's another situation with, what is it? That's similar to the Wii and PS2 thing. So, GameCube, because I never had a Dreamcast. Honestly, the only, like, Dreamcast game I can even, like, think of off the top of my head is, like, Sonic Adventure. That's pretty much the only one. Yeah, again, a lot of downtime during minigames. There's usually at least like 5 seconds of downtime. Honestly, I'll probably just get rid of the cookie thing, because I have actually not kept track of that at all. This is literally just shaking the, what is it? Controller. Dang, I thought I would get, like, closer to 5 stars there. If that was 3 stars, that would have been worrying. Oh, right, this. I actually do have to be careful during this for what I want to select. Should be that one. That almost didn't click that. What other anime do you enjoy besides Danganronpa, unless you're a video game fan of it? I'm a fan of the video games, but at the same time, I have not played Despair Girls or V3, so please don't spoil me on that. But in terms of anime, oh my goodness, all the robots got in the way. I've watched Gurren Lagann recently. Well, I say recently, but that was like, it wasn't a year ago. It was some time ago, but I watched Gurren Lagann like relatively recently. Cause like, one thing about me, I'm not like a religious anime watcher. That's like, I enjoy anime and the things that it brings, but I'm not a religious anime watcher. So I definitely need to work on watching more anime. But Gurren Lagann, I do religiously watch what is it? JoJo though, so there's that. I've watched all of JoJo up to this point, and I'll be watching what is it? Part 6 when that comes out. So that's really fun. I watched Steins Gate and Steins Gate 0. So that one's really good too. All of Naruto Part 1. I need to watch Shippuden at some point. Oh, this one can actually be a little worrying. Well, I got the 1 star I needed. Wow, okay. The second one didn't even register. But I'm good for now. Have I watched Danganronpa 3? No, I have not. Anything past Danganronpa 2 I haven't seen. So but yeah, I need to watch a lot more anime. The anime, not the game. No, I do know that Danganronpa 3 is a different thing from V3. So, I does this move faster than normal? I don't remember it ever moving that fast, but whatever. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever said earlier, but like, whoever subbed earlier, thank you. Because I remember hearing it, but I didn't see it because for some reason it just didn't show up. Even though I have it set to. Maybe it's behind something. It might be behind the game stuff. Okay, I actually have to pay attention to this one. Is it that one? It doesn't have the thing down there. But, okay, you have the hat though, so it's that one. Good thing I checked that. Let me put that up to the top. So next time anyone subs, it should actually show it. You get a star just for bouncing them once. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually do lose stars for this though, if they fall. Which, yeah, don't want to do that. Am I excited for the iCarly continuation / reboot? I am indeed. Alright, stuff constantly falls here. That's how this one goes. But I guess now would be a decent... Okay, that one just disappeared. But I guess now would be a decent time to ask, I guess for any requests for games that you guys might want me to do. Because I know I get those a lot, but like, considering I'm going to have a lot of time where there's just nothing now. now would be a good time for that. Is this entire game just mini games? Yes. This is literally just a bunch of mini games. Dang, we're like 16 minutes in, and this is the first time we're getting even one of these mini games. That's surprising, actually. Would I play an Assassin's Creed game? If you're asking me to review it, then no, but I wouldn't mind playing an Assassin's Creed game. I just don't really play Assassin's Creed that often. What's your... Okay, that's there. Okay, that's not a part of the tree already. I couldn't tell if that was or not. The placement of that was actually, like, terrible. Okay, good thing that was that. Oh my goodness. You meant on stream. I don't own any Assassin's Creed games, so no. But it's literally just... Yeah, it's literally just because I don't have any games. Well, Assassin's Creed games. Would I review a Sonic game? I wouldn't entirely be opposed to the idea. The only issue is, what are... Oh, it was the power-up I collected. I was just like, what are they doing? But yeah, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to the idea of a Sonic game. The only issue is I feel like people would just... want me to review the bad ones only. Do I have a P.O. box? No, I do not. Okay, this one only has 15 seconds. That's not good. Well, I got the 1 star. But yeah, I get requests for... Well, I'm mainly talking in terms of, like, license-based games. Because, like, that's mainly what I do. Oh, no. This one can actually kind of suck. It very much sucks that I actually had to focus for that one. But that one, that's the mini game where the motion controls can actually, like, be bad. But, like, overall, motion controls aren't, like, that bad in this game. They're just... eh. Trust me, this game has a lot more issues than the motion controls. But, oh, I still lose stars. I don't think I'd lose that much, though, if everything else still fell. Very important question. If forced to, would you play the Victorious or Big Time Rush Wii game? Are you asking me to choose between one of them? Or, like... Because I don't really know anything about either one of them, so... Yeah, there are a few times I questioned you. This is one of them. That's fair. Okay, don't make this a triple thing again. There's a Big Time Rush game. There's a game for a lot of stuff. Like, I remember having friends, not that. I remember having conversations with friends about, like just license-based games in general, and there's it's like almost any time I brought up something, they were like, "There's a game for that." And I'm like, honestly, there's a game for pretty much everything. Do WWE games count? Probably. I don't know. That's some weird territory. But I do know a person that actually reviews like WWE games, and they're pretty good. Alex Webb. I'm not sure if you know of them already, but he makes pretty good videos. Oh, and back to that earlier question you were asking me to choose between the two. Probably Big Time Rush, because I know Big Time Rush better. You guys probably, I don't know if you guys do hear like me having to swing the remote or not, but I don't know what is actually making that sound when I do that, but whatever. That was an unusually large. A lot of the food in there was just gigantic, honestly. I barely know anything about wrestling, so unfortunately I would not be able to answer that, or at least not legitimately. What iCarly game is this? iCarly on Wii. It's literally just called iCarly. Do I only review license-based games? No, but like I mostly do that. There's been a few times where I review other games, but I mostly do license-based games. Like mainly the only time outside of that was like Kingdom Hearts, which even then is kind of weird territory given the series that it is. Under Night and Birth, which was a fighting game I just really enjoyed playing, so I figured I would review that. Spyro, which at first I wanted to review all three, but like the first video didn't really do too well, so I didn't even like bother with the other two. And I think that's kinda it. Well, technically, like way back when, when I was still like when I was still doing Let's Plays, I did review Jack 1 and then didn't review any other Jack game. So that technically would count as like my first review ever, really. Do the Arkham game since that is license based? Yeah, I definitely need to do some superhero games because I haven't done any, I don't think. Because I haven't done any Spider-Man. I don't think I've done any Marvel, like, at all. Isn't Kingdom Hearts technically license based? Yeah, that's why I said that was weird territory. And I'm mainly reviewing those because I'm also a fan of Kingdom Hearts, so. But yeah, I could do an Arkham game at some point. But I definitely need to do some superhero show. Not show, game. Oh yeah, I did do a Spider-Man like game on someone else's channel, but like I played that game for like I think an hour because like that game was not that good. It was a DS game. I think it was Battle for New York. I think that's the one I did. Why did that first one count? Marvel Superhero Squad. You should review Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Ben 10's a little weird. Yes, he's a hero, but But yeah, I remember playing Marvel Superhero Squad, actually. Spider-Man PS4, maybe? That one's too recent. I definitely have to do like a older Spider-Man game, which there's plenty of, so I'm good there. Because like superheroes they've existed for a long time. Spider-Man Web of Shadows Amazing Alliance Edition on PS2 was an odd one. I think most of the Spider-Man games that people like ask me to do are like PS2 games, typically. Okay. But yeah, I also had to like make sure that that my setup was like good for pointer stuff, because like, oh my goodness, trying to use my pointer while sitting down with the setup I have was annoying, but I managed to get it set up. Could I do some of the games on the hyperscan? That probably is never going to happen. I honestly don't even remember what the hyperscan is. I think maybe I saw an AVG in episode on that, but I don't even remember what most of that was. That sandwich is gonna taste terrible. You are very far back if you only talk about the sandwich now. You thought that hammer was the claw. That's funny. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to dodge those, but eh. Ten out of 10 dance moves. I know, right? Gotta review some of the Beyblade games. I'd also have to like look at Beyblade. Like honestly, there's a lot of stuff I'd have to look at before being able to review it, because I normally do that whenever it comes to like anything I haven't seen, or like I haven't seen enough of, I feel, because I had to do that with what was the name of the show? Was it, I think it was Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, but that one I had to watch Tarzan because I hadn't watched Tarzan at the time. Well, I also did that for English report in college. So I killed two birds with one stone doing that, but... yeah, we should be good now. It's gonna hurt Freddy's head. He'll be fine. Freddy and Carly or Rose and Rachel? Who did you want more? I don't even remember the last two characters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You have no idea what's going on there. It's basically just a bunch of mini games. It's just a... But that's preferable. Fair enough. You'll be able to see it in the review anyways. And Jane, you'd actually be able to see it first because it's going up this Thursday. On Patreon, that is. So anyone that wants to see it this Thursday, make sure you gotta sub to the Patreon. And that way, you'll be able to see it a week earlier than everyone else on YouTube. You like UDG? I don't know what that is. Oh, from Friends. That's an interesting comparison then. I haven't watched Friends, so oh, Ultra Despair Girls. I haven't played Ultra Despair Girls, so I can't really have an opinion on that. Hey, thanks Jaden for sharing out the Patreon. These go by really fast. Oh my goodness. I don't know how that one counted, but whatever. But yeah, the timing for those are a little wonky. I gotta play the Friends trivia game for PS2. Why is there a Friends trivia game on PS2 of all things? Trivia game sounds rather litty. Why do some of those hands have candy in them? Basically, the objective is that I'm supposed to be keeping the hands that don't have candy from taking candy out of the bowl. And the hands that do have candy in them, they'll basically put candy back if any candy is lost. BRB gonna make a Lunchable. That's very funny to just hear someone say. But one thing I'm very much going to hope for is that internet doesn't go out on my computer, because that does randomly happen, and sometimes it happens for a long time for like no reason. But even then, it isn't that bad, because I am recording, so as long as I have that, things will be fine. Jair's, I don't know who Jair is, or Jare. Jare's energy is, oh, whoops. I guess I actually have to pay a decent amount of attention to this. But, his energy is wild. He has a killer moth profile picture from Lego Batman. is making a Lunchable. That combination of things is very, very funny. But again, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys share out the stream with your friends and family, because if you guys enjoy this, more than likely your friends will too. Jared, oh okay, that's what you were trying to say. Honestly, I could not tell. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, that is from Lego Batman. I didn't even realize that. Because, like, I haven't really been looking at people's profile pictures that much. Yeah, that should be good. I feel like Sam is getting abused with the way she's falling into the trampoline. Pretty much. Almost every character is being abused in some way in this game. Why is there a Friends trivia game? I don't know. Why are there trivia games for console, period? I don't know. There should be gameplay, not test your knowledge times. I don't know. That's all I can say. Oh yeah, speaking of, are there any other requests I guess you guys want? Because honestly, I get requests for like all types of stuff. And like usually it's never the same thing. And I don't know why. It's funny that it even exists. Yeah, it gets the points for being funny, for existing. But other than that, definitely still weird. I feel like that's the case with most license-based games. They're just weird. Maybe Lego Batman. I definitely should do a Lego game at some point. Because honestly, like, I feel like the Lego games are a pretty major part of people's childhood. And they're usually, like, good too. But yeah, when it comes to the review request, it's usually like, unless it's a Ben 10 game, the requests are usually always something different. And I'm very much surprised that that's the case. Like, there's never really any like unanimous request for anything, or even like partial requests for anything. Everyone hyping up the new Lego Star Wars. The Lego games are goated. Like, there's one thing, the Lego games have a really good track record of being good. Honestly, like I remember having this like discussion with friends. Was it? It wasn't yesterday. I think it was the day before, or maybe before that. But regardless, I basically said that the Lego games were basically the anime games done right. Because, like, oh my goodness, most anime games are not good. And, like, the practices for anime games are also trash a lot of the time, too. And when I say anime games, I usually mean like anime license-based games. Lego City Undercover. I think I remember my cousin like playing that at one point, but I've never like played it. I don't think it was on 3DS for him? I forget if it was or not. I remember he played some Lego City Underground game. Lego Ninjago. Dude, I tried to watch Lego Ninjago on Netflix, like, I think a few months ago. but like the first 4 episodes literally just aren't up there because they're technically pilots. So even though they have like pretty important information in them, they were just like, yeah, no, these are pilots, so we're not gonna add them. Literally doesn't even show like how, what is it? How like everyone met. And I'm like, aren't we missing something here? I don't know why they did stuff like that, but whatever. Lego Star Wars 2 for DS, the joke is the that port sucks. I've heard that that actually does suck. Also, I like that there's just some random cat here. I don't even think that cat is like a reference to anything. They're just kind of there. Looking at you, Jump Force, One Punch, a hero nobody knows. Yeah. Those games in particular are very high up ones in anime games that aren't good and have really bad practices in them. Like, honestly, when it comes to anime games, the best one that I've reviewed so far was Naruto Clash of Ninja 1. And that's not that good, considering that game is basically a demo version of the second one. Like, the second one is miles better, just purely because of the content alone. Like, the roster is way better, because there's so much more. The story mode isn't a half hour. Like, Clash of Ninja 2 is so much better. Sad how Lego Marvel Superheroes is the best Marvel game. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but... mainly because I just haven't played that many Marvel games, but... how did that not... whatever. The only exception for anime games are the Neptunia games and the Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball games aren't exempt from that. Dragon Ball Connect, anyone? Because that game's bad. Dragon Ball Sagas is bad. And dude, I've gotten more people than... on that video, more than any other video, I've gotten people like trying to defend Sagas. And I'm like, why? Sagas is a bad video game. Look, you can like a video game, but you also have to admit when it's bad. Sagas is a bad video game. Now, we'll always stand by that statement. The Xenoverse games are leagues better than most licensed anime games. Okay, I haven't played Xenoverse, so I can't really say much on that, but... dude, I remember, like... how long ago was it? It might have been, like, 2 years ago? But, I remember making a deal with Avatar Yaya. Some of you might know him. But I made a deal with him. He would have to play Danganronpa 1. And I would have to finish, Part 1 of Naruto. And review a Naruto game of his choosing out of, like, the ones I had. And the games I had were, Naruto Storm 1, I think Clash of Ninja 2, or Uzumaki Chronicles. The dread that came over me when he instantly chose Uzumaki Chronicles, dude. And now I know why, because that game sucks. I don't know why anime games tend to have a... honestly, I feel like anime games have a worse track record than license-based games. Like, I can't even put them in the same genre, like, at all. Because typically, with anime games, their presentation is great. Typically. But gameplay... It's not that great. Xenoverse 2 is lazy to you? Again, still don't know. Marvel games are not really that great besides Spider-Man. Yeah, that also tends to be the case because Captain America games, from what I like know of, are kind of eh. Iron Man games, dog. I wanted to try and play Iron Man 1 for a review. That game was not that good. Game was pretty bad, actually. What else? Thor games aren't that good. Hulk games aren't that good. Honestly, the only like Marvel games that tend to have anything good are like subgenres of Marvel, where it's like Marvel Superhero Squad or something, and Spider-Man. That's actually pretty much it. Everyone else doesn't really have anything good. Sagas is terrible, but Xenoverse makes up for it. I will accept that. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans was such a really good RPG game on the DS. And see, most anime games are typically like just what is it? They're usually just an arena fighter, and a lot of them carry the same tropes, which really sucks. Cause like I'm gonna bring this up now because after the iCarly review, the next game I'm reviewing is going to be JoJo Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven. That game has no training mode. Why on earth does that game not have a training mode? I find that to be really dumb. Have I played Zero Escape? I played 999, but I've not played any game after that. DC has better games, but it has bad games as well. Oh yeah, 100%. Maybe bring up Superman 64. But yeah, I think, does DC tend to have better games? Well, DC does have Injustice, so it has Injustice, it has Batman. Does DC have anything else, honestly? I don't think DC has any other games other than Injustice and Batman. Now that I'm thinking about it. Specifically, which Hulk game wasn't good? Just from like what I'm hearing, like at least one of them wasn't like all that great. But like I haven't played any of them myself, at least not yet anyways. Because knowing this series, I'll probably end up doing that at some point. You hope you're not the only one who remembers Lego Pirates from... I don't remember that. I thought you were going to bring up Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, but that took a turn. I wasn't expecting that. The Arkham series is what... I'm also focusing on this. Is what you love in DC games, especially Arkham City. What's up, Yahya? Oh, you were talking about, what is it? Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm surprised you spelled it so drastically wrong. But yeah, I like Eyes of Heaven also. I tried playing online for Eyes of Heaven yesterday. I actually found some matches, I was very surprised about. I wasn't expecting to find any just random online matches, but I did. It sucked though. Because like, when you're fighting 2-on-2, the netcode is terrible, but when it's 1-on-1 is actually really good. But people are better than me at the game when I'm playing online, so by that, it sucked. But yeah. My next review was iCarly. If you couldn't tell already. Eyes of Heaven is the best JoJo game because it's the only one us Americans can play. I mean, there is Fightcade, which allows you to play, I think it's Heritage to the Future, or For the Future, one of the two. But Fightcade allows you to play that. And there is a decently big community for that too, so. And then there's All-Star Battle, but like All-Star Battle is super hard to get, so there's that. There's a PS2 JoJo game for Part 5. I think it's a PS2 game. I never pulled that up. I forget if it automatically pulls one up at the beginning, but... JoJo Bizarre Adventure for PS2, yeah. I think there's a Part 1 game for Famicom? I think there's one for that. I don't think Part 2 really has any games though, like at all. But I think a major Dragon Ball game that's going to be interesting to talk about is definitely Budokai, because Budokai 2 especially, because like Budokai 2 was left out of the HD collection, and there's a very solid reason as to why, but I'll be bringing all that up whenever I do Budokai, probably 1, honestly, because I think all of the Budokai games have the issue, quote unquote. Okay, I'm hoping still fine. Okay, my internet like disconnected for like a slight second, but I think everything's fine. Use Part 8 Josuke and Joshu as your main duo. I like Josuke a lot in Eyes of Heaven. He's like really cool. I should be spraying. Anastasia is also pretty cool. But in terms of like a duo, I don't really have like a duo in mind. Because normally if I do play online, I'm playing with friends. So I don't exactly have a choice in like my partner. What was my favorite video that I've made? I guess I'll go based off of the reviews that I've done. Favorite one to have done. Because a lot of stuff goes into a lot of different things when it comes to which one would actually end up being my favorite, because like there's a lot of production that goes into like having to make the videos. It's like, is the play experience good? Like, is the gameplay just good in general. Then there's also the editing process, script writing, and then there was one more thing. I'm forgetting what on earth it was that I'm forgetting about. I don't know why I'm forgetting, but there was that other part. But there's a lot of factors that go into that. But if I were to choose one, well, no, one would be kind of difficult. So I guess let's go with top 3. Nightmare Before Christmas was a really fun one to do because that game was just fun in general. Ben 10 Cosmic Destruction. I don't know what the third one would be though. Third one's kind of difficult to choose. You wish Konami still made Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force? I wish Konami was still like a good company. How about doing a Telltale game? How long are Telltale games? I forget how long they are. But they also have, like, typically, quote-unquote, a lot of different decisions. I'm gonna check that now, actually. How long to beat? And then we can look up a Telltale. Let's just do The Walking Dead. That'd be easy. 13.5 hours for that one. And then every other game was shorter. Which, honestly, thinking about that is a little funny. Is the on-screen chat still updating? Oh, I don't think it is, actually. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I definitely would not have noticed. I think I'll be able to. Okay, I think all I would have to do, just do that again. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that, just so that doesn't mess up. I don't know why that's white now, but whatever, I guess, it's fixed. And it definitely shouldn't be white, because I have dark mode on, so whatever. But yeah, it should be fixed now. So, thank you, Orange Sticker, for pointing that out. Let me make sure this is still recording in here. It is still recording. That is good. Alright, and we leave it at that. But are there any other games that you guys play? Because I know, like, looking at this, I see that a fair amount of you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, that spaceship was in a very awkward spot. How are you not tired of playing the same minigames over and over again? Well, I had to review the game, number one, so I'm already used to it. And B, well, 1 and B, 1 and 2, I have you guys to talk to, so it definitely nulls it a bit. So it's not as bad, because I have you guys to talk to. So as long as we mainly focus more on the whole chat thing, it's not as bad. What about the Deadpool game? That one would actually be pretty interesting to do. Would it be the first? I think that would be the first M-rated game I ever do. Well, actually, no. Wait, is JoJo? I don't know if JoJo's M-rated. I don't think it is, though. I definitely need to check that. But it probably isn't, but... It's weird, because the anime is definitely definitely what I would call an M-rated anime, but... in terms of like what the game is, I actually don't know. Despite me actually like looking at the game a lot and like looking into it. It's not. Okay. Yakuza is a series you love, and I have a star already. Have unfortunately finished yesterday. It's definitely one of the saddest feelings, finishing a series that you like. But, I've actually started playing Yakuza 0, I guess, earlier this month. But, like, I haven't really, like, touched it again until yesterday. And I'm, like, just getting into the second chapter. Eyes of Heaven is rated T. Yeah. Like, considering, like, the stuff that happens in the game, I figured that it would be rated T, because the stuff that happens in the game is nowhere near as bad as the stuff that happens in the anime. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna leave it at that, just so that I don't accidentally fail. Seeing people start with Yakuza 0 is a very wholesome experience. I don't know what that means. I believe Yakuza 0, aside from what was the name of the most recent one that was a RPG? I think Yakuza 0 before the RPG Yakuza game was like the most recent one, if I'm correct. Might be wrong though. Like a Dragon, that's what it's called. But was Yakuza 0 the one that released before that one? Do you have a question to the people who made this game? Just why? Same reason for pretty much every other license-based game. Money. This was like classic Wii shovelware. It might as well be. Oh, that was a 2015 game? That's kind of insane. I don't know how I managed to squeeze through both of those turtles, but whatever. What part is 0 for Yakuza 0? I'm guessing it's the beginning of the, like, timeline? I don't know how the whole thing works. But I know, like, one of my friends, like, for my birthday, like, a year ago, he bought me 3 games, and they were Final Fantasy 9, Yakuza 0, and Chrono Trigger, and I'm only, like, getting to Yakuza 0 now. But I'm wanting to assume that Yakuza 0 is like the first in the timeline of the games because it's called 0. Because if it's not, but that's weird. Ben 10 Protector of Earth was a fun game, but Cannonbolt was OP. Yeah. And honestly, Heat Blast later on is broken too because he has a really dumb combo move. It's basically the origin of Yakuza? Okay. I'd want to assume that with a name like Yakuza 0. When the series has already, like, begun. Especially for 6 games at that point. Or at least 6 main games. Yeah, Diamond Head ain't in the game, which apparently from what I've like seen for like future games, if I remember correctly, the first game that have Diamond Head is either the 2016 Ben game or the first 2016 Ben game, or it's an Omniverse. I think Omniverse is the first to have Wild Mud actually. Which even then, considering that those were some of the first aliens you ever see, that's crazy. To think that they're not in there. Hopefully you're not too late. No, you're not. Was it Data Design Interactive? I literally turned on the game earlier, but I don't remember who made it. But if those are the same people that made this, that would explain a lot. I definitely haven't been looking too much at, like, who makes games. Well, I say that, but, like, aside from the Avatar games, because, like, for whatever reason, every Avatar game until the Korra games were done by THQ. Like, all of them were done by them, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, why? And if you've seen those Avatar videos, you know how I feel about pretty much all of those games. It's practically the same song and dance every time, aside from the first one. The first one's the most different one compared to the other 3. You don't think Wildmutt would be very fun to play as? Really? I find that kind of surprising, actually. I think most aliens would be pretty fun to play as, honestly. They really hate Diamond Head. Dude, I'm saying Diamond Head's like one of my favorite aliens. He's so cool. And they're just like, nah, we're just not gonna put Diamond Head in any of these games. I mean, granted, Diamond Head was also like not a major thing for like the series after the first one, but like even then I'm just like, dude, I want my Diamond Head. He's so cool. We all know that The Last Airbender was the best of the games. Ugh. It's a shame that like the best Avatar game was probably the first one. And like literally every game after that, I'm just like, dog, I'm tired of the same song and dance. It's like, I just want good Avatar games. Why are none of them good? Gray Matter's too small to play as. That makes sense, but would be fun. Well, good for puzzle parts. Yeah. Like, just use the aliens to their strengths and what they are pretty much made for. You were making a joke about the other data design interactive games, because this doesn't hold a candle to those shovelware games. Avatar games equal copy and paste. The thing is like, most of them aren't even that copy paste though. That's the problem. They still feel the same though. Aside from like the first one. The first one's like the most different out of the others. But it feels like they had the same problems in almost every game. Chroma Stone stole Diamond Head spot in Alien Force. Unfortunately. I mean, Chroma Stone's still cool too, but like, I want Diamond Head. I'm gonna be so happy when I can finally play as Diamond Head, but it's gonna be in like the 2016 Ben 10 game. And I have Galactic Racing to do. I have 2 Omniverse games. So if he's not in either one of those, that's gonna be sad. And then I have the Ben 10 one. Well, not the the 2016 Ben 10 game. So I have 3 games before I can play Diamond Head, which, yikes. But at some point this year, I'm going to be playing the Korra game, and from what I've seen, it's different from all the other games because it's made by Platinum Games, and Platinum Games has a pretty good track record. So I'm wanting to assume that's going to be the best game in the entire Avatar series. Only problem is that it's based on book 2 of Korra, which is my least favorite book in the entire series. So hopefully things are better. Book 2 was so frustrating to try and get through. I literally was at one point was like, I know I have to continue watching the show, but do I want to? Because I kind of don't. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this cookie clicker thing because I have not kept track of this at all. Did I ever play Star Wars Revenge of the Sith video game? It's really underrated. I remember hearing the name, but I don't remember what the game is. I don't know why I remember the name, but I remember the name. I guess I can look that up. I do have the time, so. I'm gonna leave it at that. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith game. Okay. Don't know why I remember hearing the name. I guess it's just the name of one of the episodes. So maybe that's why. Because I definitely don't remember the game at all now that I'm looking at it. To be honest, you don't really like that Avatar Korra was set in a more modern era because personally you don't think martial arts really fit with the aesthetic. I didn't mind it, personally. Alright, I'm not supposed to spray you. But you just noticed that there was a Nintendo DS version that was made by a company called HumanSoft, but yeah, the developer of the Wii version is Blitz Games. Which I'm pretty sure their track record's probably not that good. All things considered with this game. iCarly doesn't feel old enough to be nostalgic, but maybe that's just you. I mean, it started in, I think, 2009. So I feel like, for people who grew up with it, then yeah, it's gonna be, like, nostalgic, but... Oh, 2007? So, yeah. It'll definitely be nostalgic for people. Like, what warrants nostalgia for you? Or I guess what amount of time warrants nostalgia for you, considering that that's the main thing we're talking about? Oh, they're the reason Sneak King exists? Yeah, their track record's pretty bad. I didn't even know that. I should probably start looking at companies more. Because honestly, my opinion of THQ has definitely changed a lot more since doing the Avatar games. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they did like Battle for Bikini Bottom and what is it? The SpongeBob movie game. Those games are really good, but when it comes to the Avatar games, yikes. For most of it. For pretty much all of it, honestly. Like, THQ really had 2 SpongeBob bangers, and that's about it. You don't understand the dance and fishing minigames? What are you supposed to do in them? For the dance minigame, I'm supposed to, shake the Wii remote around, and that's like the general sense for it, but depending on the variation, I either have to like stay in a specific area with the remote, stop moving it around at some point, stuff like that. And then the fishing one, for this one, I'm supposed to reel in whatever stuff, and if it matches the stuff on the top, then I confirm. Otherwise, don't do anything. Well, otherwise I decline the object, I guess. Oh, I didn't realize you didn't have to press a button while breaking that up. That actually is a lot more manageable now that I know that. You grew up with it, you tried to watch it on Netflix, but you remember most of the episodes pretty well. I'm also trying to read chat while doing this minigame, and that's kind of difficult. Without having to rewatch them, and it's cringy looking back at it. Yeah, I've definitely noticed. I've definitely felt the same way about some stuff when it came to like looking at this game. I'm like, dang. Yeah, this is not as good as when I was younger. You rewatched Zoe 101 and it holds up okay? I've never watched Zoe 101. Wow, that didn't even register. How long is this webisode? As long as I want it to be, because it's an endless webisode, technically. It keeps going on until I can't get a star. So, honestly, for the most part, that's until I decide otherwise. Did Zoe 101 have a game? It probably did. But if it did, I imagine it'd probably be like a DS game or something. In 24 hours straight. I'm not doing that. There was a GBA game. Okay, yeah. I figured there would be at least like some handheld game for Zoe 101. I imagine it wouldn't have a console game. To be fair, I'm also surprised that iCarly got a console game. Because, like, I remember Drake and Josh got like two, what is it? It got 2 GBA games. So for iCarly to get one, well, a Wii game or a console game is pretty surprising. How old am I? I'm 21. It was the 2000s. Nearly every TV show and movie got a tie-in game. Yeah. Oh, I was about to say, how did that count? But it hit his ankle. Friends had a PS2 game. Ironically enough, someone else also brought that up like earlier on. You don't sound 21? Well, I probably sound older, but like I've definitely like had people say I look older than I am. Cause like I have a completely full beard and everything, so. And I've had a full beard since I was like, I think 18. Actually, it might have even been longer than that now that I'm thinking about it, but. Was it when I was 17? Maybe it was when I was 17, but. Especially Marvel films. Yeah, Marvel movies got a lot of them. I find it pretty interesting that like license-based games like stopped being a major thing in recent times. Probably because a lot of them didn't really do too good. Or like weren't that good anyways. Cause like like Doctor Strange doesn't have a game. What other recent Marvel movies? Spider-Man already has games, so I don't really need to worry about the Marvel version. Well, the Marvel movie version's not getting any games, but what else? I would say that Avengers didn't really get a game, but then it did, and then it also flopped horribly. So maybe we don't need any more Marvel games. That game was also made by Square Enix too, so yikes. Because like I remember me and a friend, like we were, wow, those fell, but we were playing the beta, I think it was, for Marvel PS4, and we were like, dog, this ain't it. We were like pretty disappointed with how the beta was, and then the game came out, and now the player base is in shambles because that game is not good. Player base pretty much does not exist anymore. The Tom Hanks movie Da Vinci Code got a PS2 game? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what ABC's 24 is either. Wasn't the new Avenger game terrible? Yeah. Game was not good. What you don't like about license-based games is that some of them just use scenes from the movie they're based on. Yeah, that's also something I tend to not like too much, because like there's definitely some other cases that are also like really extreme, like with the Polar Express game. It uses the cutscenes from the, well, not cutscenes, it uses scenes from the movie, but the actors aren't the same. So you'll see, well, not really see, but you'll hear a very clear difference in the voice acting, and I'm like, why did you guys do this? Sucks when Spider-Man does better than the Avengers game, but you're not surprised. Oh, I don't think that it really sucks, but like, Avengers definitely should not have been as bad as it was. Got a big company like Square Enix behind you. That game should have been great. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Do I remember it? Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. You need to play the other two Zero Escape games. I do have the, well, I have one of the Zero Escape games actually. I don't have the other one, but because I beat the first one, but I think the second game is just called Zero Escape. I think is it called Time Dilemma? I forget, but I know Virtue's Last Reward is the third Zero Escape game. Also, hey, Finn, the human, the Faz Hog. Oh, Time Dilemma is the last one? Okay. I guess I have Virtue's Last Reward then. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith game had a multiplayer Jedi dueling game mode, one of the few and best in your opinion. Disney would make lots of money if they did a Jedi/Sith fighting game. Oh yeah, I do want to talk about fighting games because I haven't brought that up, surprisingly. Is this the iCarly game? Indeed it is. Or at least it's one of them. But regardless, it's going to be the one that's going to be reviewed by me. But, are there any fighting games that you guys play? Because, for me, main ones that I play, at least right now, Under Night and Birth. That's probably like my favorite fighting game to play. And I've been playing BlazBlue Cross Tag recently, but that's only because of a mod that like makes the game a lot better. You played Injustice 2 and Smash Ultimate more? Well, yeah, I also play Smash Ultimate, but like Smash Ultimate, I have a very on and off relationship with Smash Ultimate. There's a game based on Narnia. After seeing this game, you know why aliens are not visiting us. Oh, goodness. You think at this point in iCarly, Carly's dad would have retired from the Navy? Yeah, maybe they'll bring that up in the, what is it? In the revival. Also, Tekken and Soul Calibur are your favorite. I played like a little bit of Tekken and like no Soul Calibur. What do you do in this game? Bunch of mini games. It's pretty much it. And right now I'm playing the endless mode, which is basically just mini games. On top of the fact that it's pretty much just mini games. Probably not, Bob. I'm imagining that they wouldn't have. I think Freddy's moved on, honestly. Oh yeah, Gibby's absence. Well, they'll more than likely explain that. Like, they'll probably also explain, Sam not being there either. I'm not sure if they already did explain why Sam wasn't there, but like I know real life reason why, but I don't know what is it? Show wise why not. I don't know how they're gonna write that. Do I play any of the Spawn games? I have not played any of them. You only ask because it's giving you Friends vibes. Honestly, I haven't seen the trailer either. Like, I've seen what is it? The, I guess, promotion thing with Miranda Cosgrove and Jerry Trainer behind the scenes, like talking about the show and stuff. And that was pretty cool to see. But like, other than that, I haven't really seen anything else. What's up, Lego dude? Oh yeah, there is one thing that iCarly definitely provided though, is some good memes. Oh yeah, is the Groovy Smoothie guy gonna come back? Maybe? Who knows? This is the Wii version. Yeah, being on iCarly affected her mental health because, like, I believe from like what I read, she was on the show to like financially support her family. And I can imagine that stuff like that can definitely take a toll on you, and that's kind of the only reason she was acting. Has a YouTube channel. In case you're wondering, I need to also look at this. Okay, there we go. But it also features other members of his family, but most of the time it's him and his brother. Yeah, TiVo. Not this game. But yeah, this game doesn't have a frame row mode. These shows are supposed to be funny. You never laugh once as a kid. I don't think I remember ever laughing at them either, honestly, now that I think about it, but You wonder what Crazy Steve is up to these days? Maybe still doing the same old stuff. Are you the only one who doesn't remember Mandy? I remember her. Isn't her name Mindy? I think it literally showed it earlier, but I didn't even bother looking. It's Mandy or Mandy, one of the two. But I remember her. And the rest of his family. That's a lot of family members. I'm assuming that's not immediate family, but who knows? It could be. Also, this very much gives, like, footage that I can use for the review itself. I can do that, well, gain footage, and be able to talk to chat. Crazy. You know, something I just realized is that the Wii Remote actually has, like, the... it's not the strap. It's the, I guess, protective thing that you can put on it. I'm surprised it actually shows that in game. Not that that's really important, but just an observation I've made after looking at this game for an hour and 40 minutes straight. Oh yeah, the Pee-wee babies. I remember that. But yeah, the next 3 game reviews are going to be the weirdest, like, consecutive, what is it, bunch of games ever. Because you have iCarly now. The next one after this is JoJo Eyes of Heaven. And then a very special... When is that movie coming out? But regardless, Space Jam 2 is happening soon. So you can imagine what I'm doing next. After JoJo, anyways. Good splat. Honestly, I'm very glad I turned off the voices because now I'm like thinking about having the voices on and oh my goodness, that's no. What's up, Common Writer? I've been doing good so far. Been talking to chat. Pretty much the whole time. And you guys have been pretty active, which thank you guys because oh my goodness, doing this without an active chat would kind of suck. Also, I'm surprised that first spray missed. Am I looking forward to the iCarly reboot? I indeed am. Oh yeah, and since I haven't like brought this up in like a hot minute, this Thursday the iCarly review will be up on Patreon, so make sure you guys go to the description below, and all you have to do is pay $1 a month to see any YouTube videos that I make a week earlier than anyone else. And also your name will, well, your Patreon name anyways, will be shown in the outro of the videos, as long as you are still paying, of course. All it takes is $1 minimum, and you can see videos a week earlier. There's a Gibby falling for 10 from the ceiling for 10 hours. Okay. I don't even know what this claw thing is. There's a Fist of the North Star game developed by Sega, made with Yakuza 6's engine. That's actually kind of surprising. Hopefully it's good. Because Sega also has some not good games. Mainly Marvel ones. They've had some tie-in with Marvel games, and they're not good. Okay, honestly, the lines in this are really weird. Okay, now that first one actually just didn't register at all. Imagine if Sega made a platform fighter with their characters. Imagine if Sega did anything with their characters. Because really and truly, they don't do much at all with their series. Because they have a lot of series that they don't really do anything with. They kind of promote the Big Blue, and that's about it. They do have games outside of that, but like... You haven't played it, but it looks amazing, and Kinshiro's voice actor is the same as Kazama Kiryu. Isn't that? Yeah, that's Kiryu and Yakuza. That's surprising, actually. But yeah, his voice actor actually does do a good job, from what I've already played. Even though it's like 2.5 hours, I think I've played of Yakuza 0. He does a good job. Sam just fell through the floor. Yeah, dude, it's just Gibby 2.0 with Sam. Same voice actor since 2005 too. That's a long time, but yeah, anime games typically do a really good job of having their original voice actors reprise roles. Like, honestly, the only reasons that original voice actors tend to not do that is usually because they're dead. So why is there a bunch of shoes in there? Who knows? Someone probably threw them in there. You and your community doesn't go down to your local pond and just throw shoes in there? The only other person who's looked at this game is Nitro Rad, and that was part of his April Fool's special. I didn't even realize that. I definitely should look at Nitro Rad stuff, because like I've seen that his videos exist, but I have never actually like watched his videos before. I might do that, especially since he covers like similar content as me. And it's weird because like anyone who like covers the content that I do are either like as small as I am or like Nitro Rad, and I think Kadikarus did some license-based game videos, if I'm remembering the right person. I might not be, but it's either like as small as me or as big as they are. And there's usually not like a middle ground, which is interesting. Oh yeah, I've seen the meme, space thing. You meant Kiryu's voice actor also didn't get me stunned, double break his ribs from the... He fell from the ceiling. There was one time where he did like jump through a window into, what is it, a bathroom in order to like, what is it, try and talk to, what is it? One of the lieutenants after beating up everyone else that was in the bathroom. Have I played J-Star's Victory Versus? I have not. I have seen gameplay of it though. Is playing minigames the only thing you do in this game? For the endless mode, yes. But honestly, there's not much else. So the answer is still technically yes. Oh, something I'm surprised that we haven't asked once this entire stream. What Shrek games have you guys played? Poor stunt double broke 3. Oh, you're talking about the stunt. I thought you meant. Wait. Why did. It seems like 2 of your. Either I completely misread one of your earlier comments or like you stuck 2 sentences together. Oh, he actually broke ribs then. That's crazy. And they just left it in. Well, the more you know about certain memes, I guess. You've played Shrek Ultra Large, Extra Large, and you unironically like it. I have not played it, but from like the one speedrunning clip I've seen of it, it's definitely an unpopular opinion. But yeah, at some point I'll play the more recent Ben 10 games that have released on well, I guess quote-unquote recent consoles because, well, we're at PS5 era now, but... You played Shrek 2 and Shrek Super Slam, the most famous one. I have played, well, considering the reviews and all, what is it? I played Shrek 2, Shrek the Third. I played Shrek Super Slam before, but that's not part of a review. Smash and Crash Racing. Is there any other Shrek game I played? I don't think I played any other Shrek game. I do have Treasure Hunt with me, which is a PS1 Shrek game, and that's because at some point I want to make sure I continue doing Shrek games. But that's another one I'll have to add at some point. And the party game. Yeah, I remember there was a party Shrek game. I don't remember what it's called, though. Is that the extra large one? I don't think it's that. Oh yeah, Ben 10 is on Minecraft. I was kind of surprised to see that. But dude, watching Omniverse is going to be interesting. Because like I hadn't watched Omniverse because the art style had changed, and that's pretty much the whole reason why. Well, that's partially the reason why. I had actually stopped watching Ben 10 at Ultimate Alien. I don't know why. That was kind of dumb. Like, I thought that the idea of Ultimate Aliens was stupid when I was younger for some reason. I don't know why I did. But now, I'm like, yo, these things are pretty cool. I do wish pretty much all aliens had stuff like this, but whatever. Shrek Super Party, that's what it is. The other is Shrek Carnival Craze Party Games. I have not ever heard that. You stopped watching at Ultimate Alien 2. That's surprising. But yeah, going into Omniverse is definitely going to be interesting because it's a very different art style, number one. And two, from what I've heard from a friend that actually like actively watched Ben 10, the episodes, or at least some of them, released out of order. So that's going to be kind of weird. But the good news is that I don't have to worry too much about having to actually like consistently watch it like that much because I still have galactic racing to do. You never watched the original Ben 10? You feel like you're missing out? I do recommend trying to watch the original Ben 10 because like it's pretty good. You only watched Alien Force and Ultimate Alien though? Well, you have watched those. I mean, that's not like all that bad, but still, I do recommend like trying to go back and watch the original show. And in your experience will probably be unique because of the fact that you're going backwards for that. You'll just be like, oh yeah, this alien is actually pretty cool from like the later on in the series. Well, actually, how many aliens carry over between the original and Alien Force? Because I'm trying to think about that now. Actually, most of them don't really carry over now, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Ultimate Alien and Alien Force, mostly at the very least, have new forms. You do enjoy Cosmic Destruction? I do as well. It's my favorite Ben 10 game. At least for right now. One of the other Ben 10 games could change that, but who knows. You kind of wish there was more GameCube/Xbox only combos like Extra Large was. The only ones that came to mind are Jedi Knight 2 and Dino Stone Odyssey. I don't know the second one, but the first one I do know of. I'm upset that missed. Also just warning me about the Omniverse 2 game. Don't get excited, it's going to suck. I've heard that a little bit, but how many batteries do they have for that camera? Did he just keep it changing stuff after each mini game? Freddy came prepared. He has a really good camera. As expected of the man. As the cameraman, you better have some good equipment. Well, actually, they did have a episode where they did have like a long, I guess, webisode. So, do I play any sports games? Not typically. Honestly, the only sports games that I play or would even like consider playing usually have some form of gimmick to them. So normally they're like a Mario sports game, like Mario Strikers, because Mario Strikers is really good. If we're talking racing games, that's also kind of in the same vein. But like, I think I'm more willing to play a racing game than a sports game, honestly. Like, if I'm gonna play a sports game, there's gotta be some form of gimmick. So like, I can't play like 2K. Is the Ben 10 reboot bad like Teen Titans Go? It's kind of in the same vein as Teen Titans Go. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls reboot is actually like the worst one out of the three. That one sucks. Ugh. But I don't know. I Teen Titan Go's highs is probably like is probably the best out of the three, but maybe overall the reboot is like better. I haven't like watched too much of the reboot, honestly. I've only seen like a few episodes in my like pastime, and that was like a few years ago, so I don't even really remember that much. You personally don't think the Ben 10 reboot was as bad as Teen Titans Go, but the original is still much better? Oh yeah, the original is still better. But who knows? Maybe when I have to end up watching it, maybe I'll have the similar opinion. It's also not in the same universe. Yeah, that's another thing. Unironically, unironically think it's the second best behind Omniverse. That is actually pretty surprising. It's fantastically odd instead of slightly boring like the original was. Maybe I'd have to rewatch the original, but I personally wouldn't call the original boring. Any expectations for the iCarly reboot anyways? I'm hoping it's good. That's about it. Oh yeah, yeah. That, just leave Powerpuff Girls alone, dog. No, like at this point, just leave it alone. Shrek Super Slam was sick. Yeah, it even had a competitive community for I think 2 years. But it was a short time given competitive games, but like during that time, I think it was around 2016. I could be wrong. It was pre-COVID, I know that much. But during that time, to get a GameCube game to have a competitive scene like at all that lasted like 2 years, and it was for a Shrek game, like that's pretty powerful stuff. Yeah, I saw the leaked script. That was abysmal. Wasn't there a live action Powerpuff Girls thing that became... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So many reboots coming out these days. Yeah. And yet none of them are good. Well, I guess there's some like positive aspects of some of them, but like when you think about what was, then it's like, yeah, that's not as good. A platform fighter with characters from DreamWorks Animation would be fire. Well, I'm not about to say that there is one, because there isn't, at least to my knowledge, but there's a racing game that does that, and it's not that good. And I'll be able to tell you that personally at some point, because that's a game I'm planning on reviewing, because after Madagascar cards, I've like looked at stuff more, and I was like, oh, DreamWorks cards exist. I'll play this at some point. And then I started to, and oh my goodness, it's not that good. I did not care for the original Powerpuff Girls. Why would you make a live action reboot of a show based on girls the size of 3-year-olds with superpowers? It just doesn't make sense. Also money. But then, like, they forgot to make it good, which will be the main draw-in for money. A Nicktoons platform fighter would be cool. That actually wouldn't be too bad, honestly. I can imagine that would actually be pretty decent. Like, to the same vein as, like, Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion. I feel like of all other, like, Cartoon Network sites, Nickelodeon could do a solid one. The closest thing was Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends. Yeah, I've actually seen a review for that. That game's it's pretty alright. There's definitely a lot of direct stuff from Smash though. Like if you played Smash 4, it's almost kind of blatant. Some of the gameplay mechanics that are in it. Oh yeah, Super Brawl. Wasn't Super Brawl like a 2D fighter? And not a platform fighter? I think that's what it is. I can look it up. Considering I have half a minute up here. Super Brawl. I'd like to see gameplay. That would be very nice. Yeah, that was a 2D fighter. Punch Time Explosion is fine, but has flaws. Yeah. That's pretty much the case with a fair amount of license-based games, really. The game's fine. It just has flaws. It was a 2D fighter in the vein of something like Street Fighter, yeah. Do you like how small its save file is? 85 kilobytes on PS3. Punch Time Explosion didn't have Ed, Edd and Eddy, which sucks, but it's fine. Yeah, roster is definitely a weird thing. Dog, I want Courage the Cowardly Dog to be in video games, but he isn't, and I'm sad. Like, the only video game, to my knowledge, that he's in is Cartoon Network Racing, and I think he's in a GBA party game? I forget, but he's not in that much stuff, and he also doesn't have his own game, which makes me sad. Honestly didn't know who Captain Planet was until you played, what is it? Punch Time Explosion. Yeah. Captain Planet is like a really old show, so that makes sense. The game kept crashing. I never had the game crash for me. Granted, I played the Wii version, so maybe that's a thing. Because now that I've been doing this review series, I've realized, oh my goodness, versions are super important. Because, like, with Finding Nemo especially, I've never seen so much, like, oh yeah, the PS2 version is great, but the GameCube version is actually terrible. Like, I've never, like, heard that much of a difference in how the, game is. I have no idea which one of these, so I'm gonna go with that. Okay, cool, it was that one. Courage would be interesting to having Punch Time Explosion, yeah. Oh yeah, the minigames definitely have repeated, like, a lot by this point. Like, there's not an endless amount of minigames. Like, at some point, they are bound to repeat. Yeah, you did get here, like, pretty late, but it's fine. The fact that you're even here at all matters a lot. And it means a lot. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. How long will I be playing? Probably until like 2 hours, 30 minutes, maybe. Courage definitely needs a game, dude. Hug. Honestly, like, I'm going to college for, like, game design, so I might just make a game inspired off of Courage. Because, like, considering that I'm going to college for game design, I could. You didn't even know this existed. You would have played the crap out of this as a kid. That would have been bad. That's all I'm gonna say. The 3DS version of Punch Time Explosion has some frequent crashes. I never had the 3DS version. Oh yeah, also the story mode for, what is it? Punch Time Explosion is literally just Brawl Subspace Emissary. So, like, that's definitely something I'm gonna be bringing up whenever I do that game. Oh yeah, someone else did point out that Gibby has a YouTube channel. Or the not voice actor, the actor for Gibby. Oh yeah, I've noticed we haven't really talked too much about Disney games, honestly. Because, like, I don't think Disney games are, like, that popular when it comes to license-based games. It's usually, like, Cartoon Network games, Spider-Man, or, like, the superhero games, which tend to be bad. And anime games, really. And that's kind of it. And the Lego games, but... This game reminds you of Sega's Tant R? I've never heard of that. Yes, I have played PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I've also, like, looked at, like, tournaments for it, too. Like, some of it's pretty fun, but there's definitely some aspects that are like, why did you make the game this way? Oh yeah, also with Epic Mickey, I don't know how many people went to, like, that poll I made on my community tab about, like, if I were to do a Mickey game, which one would you guys want me to do? Castle of Illusion or what was it? Epic Mickey, and like 90% of you guys said Epic Mickey, and I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'm doing that one if I ever do a Mickey game instead of Castle of Illusion, which I'm actually more familiar with. Some are good, like Toy Story 2 on PS1. I kind of don't want to count Toy Story because that's Pixar. Or at least back then, that was just Pixar and not Disney as well. Does Kingdom Hearts count as license base? Yesn't. Kingdom Hearts is very weird territory. Smash took Solid Snake, so PlayStation All-Stars took Raiden. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely one of the weirder roster decisions, but it almost kind of makes sense, kind of. It was, PlayStation All-Stars was mainly for, like, promoting upcoming games. Because, like, I think DMC Devil May Cry was, like, somewhat releasing around that time. Metal Gear Rising was releasing around then. There was like one other game that was promoting a recent game, but I forget what it was. Oh no, they're like chilling right now. Is that that's not the tail? What is this? Oh, that's the hind legs apparently. Well, yeah, in recent time, Marvel games are technically Disney games. But like, in terms of like when certain games release, I'm like, I want to go based off of like when they were like not under Disney or whatever. If they weren't under Disney, I wouldn't count that as a Disney game technically, but oh yeah, the intro for Battle Royale was sick. Oh, speaking of PlayStation, how many Sly Cooper fans we got in here? I'm hoping we got a decent amount, because Sly Cooper is definitely one of my favorite series. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get any other games. They wanted to get Snake in the original Dante in the game. That sucks, because that actually probably would have carried them. I'm not even going to lie. If they did manage to get those, that would have actually kind of carried. Because I think that people would have played the game just for those two characters alone. Like, that actually kind of would have been insane if they managed to get those two. But there were some other good picks. Like, they had Nathan Drake, they had Sly Cooper, Jack, Ratchet and Clank, Sackboy. They had, I forget what his name, Spike from Ape Escape. Like, they had some good ones, but then they had some weird ones. Alright, I'll leave that minigame at that. You enjoyed Sly 1, but because PS Now, it lags so much. Dude, I really wish that the Sly games re-release on current consoles, at least on PS4. But, dude, the most recent way you can play Sly games that are, like, even functional is, like, PS3. And not everyone's gonna have a PS3 today. Which sucks. Like, I want to introduce so many people to Sly Cooper, but, like, it's so inaccessible. Because PS Now is terrible, and the only ways to play it recently are either get a PS2 or a PS3. You've never had a PS1, so you've never played it? Well, Sly wasn't on PS1, it was on PS2. And it also re-released on PS3. Well, Sly 1, 2, and 3 released on PS3, and then Thieves in Time on PS3 as well. Never played Sly 1, but wish you did. Is that Neville? Well, one of them probably was. If you're talking about the cupcake throwing minigame, then yes, that was Neville. It's just called the Sly Collection. That's the trilogy remaster. Unless you're asking for like a remake of the 3 games, which the only reason you still play on PS3 is Black Ops 2 Zombies. Right, like people don't play on PS3 that much. Because like honestly, most games that are on PS3 were ported over to PS4, or at least the major ones anyways. But unfortunately, Sly got left in the dust. You got Spyro and Crash remade. You want to see Sly Cooper remade? See, the problem with that is the original company that made Sly Cooper gave Sly over to Sanzaru, who made Sly 4. Now granted, I like Sly 4, but Sly 4 unfortunately did not do well enough for the DLC, which would explain what happened at the end of the Sly 4. So, it's very unlikely that Sly 5 will ever happen. And like I remember making a video, I think it might have been 3 or 4 years ago, but regardless, made a video about is Sly Cooper dead? And basically, the only way that Sly Cooper could be around at this time is if, well, at the time, the movie for Sly Cooper was supposed to come out around the same time as the Ratchet and Clank movie. As we're all aware, that didn't happen. So, then it got turned into a TV show. And at the time, like, pretty much almost no one knows that, because there were some people, like, commenting on the video, and they were like, dog, I didn't even know that this got turned into a TV show, which is pretty bad, because at the time, I had, like, 500 or something subscribers, or even less than that. So, like, if people are only figuring this out because a 500 subscriber YouTube channel is telling people this, people are not going to know about this. So, yikes. And we still have no information on it. And basically, the only way that Sly Cooper could come back around is if interest for the TV show happened. The TV show has still not happened at all, and we barely know any information on it. Still. So, yikes. Sly fans kind of just keep getting kicked in the teeth ever since Sly 4. And it sucks. This is awesome. Also, what was your favorite iCarly moment? It's been so long since I've watched iCarly, I don't really know what my favorite moment would be, honestly. Actually, no. It'd probably be when, like, Carly was like, Sam, rip her head off, and Sam just unleashes on this girl that was bullying Carly. That's probably one of my favorite moments. Definitely a memorable one. Sly is streamable on PS4, but sadly it requires a PS Now subscription. Dog, do not get PS Now. PS Now sucks. Because, like, your internet goes out ever. Like, well, not even if it goes out. If your internet speed goes down at all, that junk gets nuked. PS Now is a terrible service. And unfortunately, it's like one of the only ways to play Sly in modern day. No, Sly is a PlayStation exclusive, as other people are now saying. It's so unfortunate. I want to get so many people into Sly, dude. Sly is so cool to me. And, like, it's also so cool that like for one of my classes last semester, like it was a writing class for basically writing stories for video games and stuff. One of our assignments was to write a narrative, well, a game narrative review for like the game story, and I did mine for slide 2, and my goodness, it was like 8 pages long. I think it was normally supposed to be like half that, but I was just like, dog, I love this game too much. No Sly movie, no TV series. What else are they gonna drop next? Ugh. It works for some games, but when you try to play Sly or Infamous, it is so unplayable. And lag. Yeah, that's also another series I want to introduce people to. Well, at least the first 2 games, because like I play the first 2 games, but I haven't played any game after that, or at least not enough of any game after that. And those games are cool too. All the Sucker Punch games. They're all getting left in the dust, aside from Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I'm glad the Sucker Punch, like, dang, Sucker Punch and Sly and Jack are really similar in a lot of ways now I'm thinking about it. That's actually kind of crazy. I'm definitely going to talk to Prodigy about that, but they're going to come to our house and steal our copies overnight. Dog, they probably would. Xbox Game Pass is better than PlayStation Now. Yeah, it's a lot better. I haven't used it, but yeah, the deal you'd be getting for the Game Pass in comparison to PlayStation Now, so much better. Like, you get a bunch of games for free just for like a subscription service? That's crazy. And like it's a lot of games for free, I'm pretty sure, too. And like with PlayStation Plus, you do get some games for free, I think like monthly, but like honestly, most of the games I don't care about. If they made a Sam and Cat video game for all the systems which you play it, I think I would have the option of playing either as Sam, Cat, Dice, or I didn't close that. Okay, cool. Our Goomer? I didn't really watch too much of Sam and Cat. And even if I did, I don't remember too much of it. Here's Prodigy. Prodigy XCD. He's a friend of mine. He makes Kingdom Hearts videos. You imagine trying to get people into something, but that something is so inaccessible. Dog, it sucks so much. Cause like I remember like a while ago, me and a bunch of friends were like trying to make deals with each other so that we could get people to play games or watch shows that we're interested in, and vice versa. And like all of the games that I want other people to play are like some of the most inaccessible games, like Kid Icarus. I mean, Kid Icarus isn't inaccessible, but like I also want to watch people play like the games that they're playing. But like No More Heroes until recently was only on Wii. So there was that. Sly Cooper, which is in the most recent consoles, are some of the worst versions ever. Infamous, well, 1 and 2 anyways, are only on PS3. Or, yeah, they're on PlayStation Now, but again, also suck on there. What else is there? I can't think of anything else right now, but I'm just like, yeah, this kind of sucks. Not being able to have my friends play games that I like. They sometimes give good games on PS Plus. Yeah, they do. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. It means a lot. I don't know why that didn't register. Have I played Ghost of Tsushima? No, but I've definitely heard all the great things about it. So again, I'm happy that it's gotten the recognition that it has, but oh my goodness. I forgot to ask, where does my name come from? Literally, all I was thinking when it came to my name was, it sounds cool, so I hope you weren't expecting some grand story about it. It's literally just, oh yeah, the Frozen Cavern. That sounds cool. And I just stuck with that. Windows and Steam are not the same. Well, in terms of like games, if you're talking about PC, then yes, technically, kinda. But if you're talking about like the programs, no. Also, if I were to make a third Epic Mickey game for the PS4 and then Nintendo Switch, what would I add and why? Well, I would need to play the first two games in order to figure out what I would add to the third one. Because I haven't played either of the first two, so... Unfortunately, I wouldn't exactly be able to answer that. Trying to recommend Torque Prehistoric Punk is a nightmare. Something an Xbox only. Wow, that missed. At least it's backwards compatible. Yeah, like you have backwards compatibility if it's on Xbox, but like with PlayStation doesn't like going backwards compatible for some reason. I don't know why. They just don't. Like, the most I'll ever go back is one generation. Well, actually, that's not even completely true, because the PS3 can play PS1 games, but... Well, the PS3, when it first launched, could play PS3, PS2, and I'm assuming PS1 games, but... then they discontinued that version, and now only have versions where it's the PS3 and PS1 games, but can't play PS2 games. And I'm like, why? And then PS4 isn't backwards compatible with any of them. And now PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4. Orange sticker literally came from a sticker you peeled off of an orange and stuck to your PS3 controller. That's kind of funny. Why did I review Shaq Fu? Curiosity very much got the best of me. That's the whole reason why. Now we need Burned Cavern. Also Melted Cavern. Marvel fan or DC fan? I'm more of a Marvel fan. I've seen a lot more Marvel movies anyways. And none of the Marvel movies have put me to sleep, at least from the ones I've seen, so... Imagine if your game company was called Cavern Games or Frozen Productions. I honestly might just call it literally the same name as the YouTube channel if that ever happens. You love PlayStation, but it has some nonsense nitpicks? Yeah. You can jailbreak a PS3 to play pretty much any PS2, PS1, and PS3 game as long as it doesn't require an internet connection. Yeah, but I don't feel like doing that. At the very least, like, I have PC, and a good PC, so I can play PS2 games. I can do it that way. Also for Kingdom Hearts 4, what do I think of Hawaii from Lilo and Stitch? Number 17, Cherry Tree Lane, game... I should probably be paying attention to this. Game Central Station, Arendelle, over the entire kingdom. This time again, being Disney Worlds. I definitely would like a Lilo and Stitch world. I don't mind that. I don't know what the Cherry Tree Lane part is though. Is that from Wreck-It Ralph? I don't think it's from Wreck-It Ralph. Because I imagine the Game Central Station one is from Wreck-It Ralph. Arendelle could get in it again. With this time actually having the kingdom. But then again, that's also determined on how the plot of Frozen 2 is. Because I haven't seen Frozen 2, so I need to watch that at some point. Oh, from Mary Poppins. I don't know them. You're going to sleep? See you next stream? Nice seeing you, Orange Sticker. You stayed around like a pretty long time, actually. I think you were around for like a majority of the stream. I would like a Wreck-It Ralph world in. I think a Zootopia world would actually be pretty interesting. But like, what the main thing that makes Kingdom Hearts world in future games weird now is how Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind ended with Izora and Quadratum. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen now. Why are people after your tacos? They just are. Tacos are pretty good. Maybe that's why. Any Pixar worlds I want in next? Incredibles. We already have Toy Story in, so I think I'd be fine without having Toy Story in from now on. If it does get in again, I wouldn't mind, but yeah, definitely Incredibles is like one of the major ones that I would like to have in. Like Kingdom Hearts 4, you might even see all the Final Fantasy characters come back. I'm honestly like thinking that other Final Fantasy characters will end up being in Quadratum. Like, I can see that happening. Or I guess the other fictional realm. Okay, I can keep failing this afterwards. Imagine a Cars world. That's gonna be weird. I think Cars might just be fine as a summit. Dude, getting a Cars world is gonna be so weird if that ever does happen. How would Cars work? Who knows? They'd find a way. What's up, Maxie? A Cars world would be the most boring. I don't think it'd be like boring, honestly. I think it would actually just be. I think the fact that the world existed would be enough to not be boring. Is Gibby in this game? He is not actually. This game looks like a mix of WarioWare and Mario Party. Well, it's mainly just WarioWare. Like, there's pretty much no Mario Party. It's basically just WarioWare. Oh yeah, how have we gone this long without talking about any SpongeBob games? I just realized that. I remember bringing them up like earlier, but I didn't really like talk too much about them. Like I brought up Battle for Bikini Bottom in the movie game, but other than that, I like hardly talked about it. Imagine car versions of Sora, Donald, and Goofy and the main villain. Now that's Xehanort's take care of. Does the difficulty even get harder the more you progress? Well, this is an endless, so no. And like the difficulty that I have set for is 1 star, so I have to get at least 1 star each minigame to progress. I wanted this to be easy. I didn't want to like be incredibly stressed about how many stars I had to get. Favorite type of music? I mainly listen to a lot of video game music, but in terms of genre, rock is really good, so I'd probably go with that. Ratatouille world. Imagine Donald and Goofy as rats. I'm trying to think of insects other than, not insects, rodents other than rats that they probably transform into. Goofy would probably turn into like a gerbil or something like that. Sora would definitely be a rat. Donald, I don't know. Donald's definitely a weird one. I guess Donald could technically turn into a mouse, which is technically different from a rat, but... yeah, this is basically the poor man's WarioWare. Watch the stream go on for an hour, and then you fall asleep towards the end of the stream. I do plan on like actually ending this pretty soon because like, one, I want to eat. And I did make sure I ate like at least something relatively before stream so that I wouldn't be like absolutely starving during it. Also, I have no idea what the rule is for like pausing because I don't know if you can pause during this or not, but I'm definitely not wanting to like risk that. What am I gonna eat? I don't know. Do I know how to make spaghetti tacos? I imagine you take spaghetti and you put it into a hard taco shell, and that's about it. I've never made them myself, but I remember I remember when I was younger that I wanted my parents to make me spaghetti tacos one day. They never did. How long do I see myself doing YouTube? I don't know. Maybe spaghetti tacos are good. I mean, it's basically just spaghetti with like in a hard taco shell. So basically just imagine spaghetti with some chips in it, and that's about what you'd get. Like, I imagine that spaghetti tacos actually wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. Because honestly, the only bad thing about it would basically be if you didn't make the spaghetti taste good. That's pretty much it. The same happened with you, except it was with pancakes. What did you ask for the pancakes? Well, honestly, thank you guys a lot for like chilling in the stream this long. Because, dear goodness, how long does this go on for? You don't even think WarioWare takes this long to progress? This is the endless mode. So, as long as I want it to. Yeah, this game does have an endless mode. Does WarioWare not have an endless mode? I'm kind of surprised by that, thinking about that now. I imagine that at least one of the games would have an endless mode or something. You'll have to check WarioWare Smooth Moose to make sure. But yeah, I don't think it has an endless mode, but I imagine that it does. You wanted pancakes because it looked delicious in cartoons. Well, pancakes is a really vague thing though. Like spaghetti tacos is definitely a more unique, like, cartoon thing. But like, I also always have wanted to try sea salt ice cream because Kingdom Hearts, so. Can't believe that movie theater dude stole Megan and brainwashed her. Imagine other weird pasta-based foods like spaghetti pan. That would be gross. Spaghetti burritos might not be too bad, maybe. Probably though. Spaghetti meatloaf. Nah. Spaghetti tacos is definitely like the safest bet compared to all of the other three. You definitely get some weird looks if you brought that anywhere. Josh randomly runs into iCarly in the revival. Imagine if they did do that, though. You look like my sister Megan. Again, imagine if that did happen, though. Getting some Drake and Josh lore. I forget, I think they had Drake show up in iCarly once. I think they did. But I forget. And I think they were like, who was that? I don't know. The guy who plays Spencer, you think made a video on the spaghetti tacos? Wouldn't be surprised. Wow, that's not registering. They did a Drake and Josh flashback sequence in Victorious. It was just a random click of the sushi episode. It's been a while since you've seen that show. I feel like that'd be a weird flashback to do that with. Oh yeah, but Drake Bell is not in the best places right now. He's definitely done some odd stuff since then. Oh yeah, and we also could have gotten some form of like Drake and Josh revival if like Drake Bell was not doing things. Yo, don't have a nose reach 2K subs? Let's go. Definitely gonna have to watch his robots review. Nickelodeon hires really bad people for some reason. Yeah, that happens a lot. Like, a lot for some reason. Alright, I think with this final minigame, we are reaching the 3-hour mark. So, whoops. Alright, we are officially at 3 hours, but yeah, I'm gonna end that there. Because I've been playing this for 3 hours now. I have to actively avoid, there we go. I would have to actively avoid that the whole time. But yeah, the 3 hours is up, boys. I'll end that off there. But I have to wait for that to end. Okay. I have to convert that because that's not an actual time because it doesn't show minutes for some reason. So let me get a calculator right now and convert that. 380 divided by 60 seconds. 123 minutes. Wait. So that would be 2 hours and 3 minutes. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I guess some of it is like transition time, so that's one thing. That added up a lot. Wow. So maybe it only adds like actual in-game playing time when you're actually playing the minigames. Then he plays for 4 hours. No. But yeah, it was a fun stream, especially with the fact that you guys stayed around as much as you guys did. So thank you guys for that. Let me stop the recording. But as I said before, the iCarly review will be released on Patreon this Thursday, and the link to that is in the description. And just for $1 a month, you guys will be able to watch reviews a week earlier than everyone else. But been at work this whole time. Dang. But I finally made a world record, basically. Granted, no one else has done it, but that was the same thing for the speedrun for this game. So I now hold a world record, so let's go. Did you break a world record? I made a world record. So A, we did it. Now I just have to post it to speedrun.com and then we're good. But yeah, and I also have more footage now because like normally I'd have like about 2.5 hours of footage ish if I didn't do this. So now I have additional footage that I can use. So props for that. Let me see what the battery life is like. Wow, it's still at 4. I didn't expect that. Next stream you'll arrive early. It doesn't matter, man. As long the fact that you're wanting to show up at all means a lot. So I'm happy about that. But you guys will see the review when you guys see it, whether it be on Patreon or on YouTube. But I guess until the next stream, till next video, till next whatever it is that you see of me, take care.